So as me and Naomi were just talking over breakfast, we started talking about vulnerabilities. And one question I want to pose to Naomi, which I haven't asked her yet, is we're showcasing a lot of our vulnerabilities here on camera. And like for example, the one where you were peeing, you were okay with me filming you. So like, how did you get to a point where you're okay with showcasing some personal vulnerabilities to thousands of people online?
So for me, I was doing commercials and all the glam side of photography and sort of like entertainment for 15 years. And I've come to the point where it's just like, I've done so much of just showing all the glam, all the amazing sides of it, always smiling, always being happy, that I sort of have no craving anymore, or like it's completely filled to the top of all the glam. And now I'm at a point where I just really want to show how it actually is behind the scene, like behind all the hours of smiling and the perfect sides, there's actually like endless like sleepless nights or long working hours,
Many bug bites.
struggles, and those are never shown. So for me, it's like I've come to a point where I really want to just share what it's really like, and that's why I'm so grateful to have a partner like Mar, who really encourages that more than anything else, because that's actually what I feel like I relate to the most, even in your films, but in general, it's like we in the end don't relate to the glam, because the glam is something that's posed, but we relate to the realness of the situation, which is the struggles, the challenges, how did we get there, what is the process like, and yeah, and that's what I feel like is really, yeah, so this is the time to share that. And yeah, so I'm at a point right now where I'm so open to share all the things that happen behind all the perfectness. It's really more about like, okay, I pee in nature too. I'm a human. I have never taken a dump in nature, but that's gonna happen. Like usually when I drink coffee, I take a dump, but apparently not yet. So that's gonna be a first. And skinny dipping, all these things. It's like this is life.
Yeah, and it's until you realize that, hang on a minute, it was at some point in time, a human created a rule and made it normal that, like, oh, it's not really good to not wear clothes when you take a swim, or it's not decent to pee in nature or poop in nature. Oh, you're an uncivilized person. It's not until I realized that, hang on a minute, there's a bunch of rules and normalities that were just created by us humans. And so, yeah, that's kind of what I realized.
It's like deconditioning ourselves.
Yeah.
And just being.
Just being, and not like putting too many labels of like normalcy on it or anything like that. And when she was talking about how she wants to show less of like the glam, like the perfect lifestyle, I went through a similar phase. Like I was showing like the glam and like the luxury of Hawaii when I was there. I went to Hawaii. That's where I started my filmmaking path. And I was literally not showing any vulnerabilities, not showing any like depth or meaning. It was all just like, hey, look at me. I'm in this beautiful destination. Don't you wish you were here? But instead you're on your couch and you don't have a good life like me. Ah, look at this. And at a certain point, it came to a point where I was like, I want something deeper. I want some meaning to my films. I want to create something that's actually meaningful. And so I think it's very helpful that we've come to the stage right now where we're being so willing to just share our vulnerabilities, just share anything in life that may not be as glamorous, but it's life. Everyone gets bug bites. When you go on a camping trip in nature, everything's not going to be so glitz and glam. Look at this amazing jungle. There's gonna be bug bites. There's gonna be poops in nature without toilet paper. There's gonna be
I did not even think about that.
There's gonna be stepping on needles like she did.
Yeah, and like, it's still in my foot.
There's gonna be bleeding of the ears. I'm really deaf right now. This is the most deaf I've ever been in my life. And so I guess we've come to this right now. We're not anywhere close to being like fully vulnerable, but I really respect and encourage that. And that's why I'm really proud of Naomi, because you know she does not have to just show all of these personal things to you, but she's willing to, and that's what I really admire and I encourage. And so.
And with that, I hope more people do that. I love you too.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Mar.
Go for it.
Okay.
Wait, just before.
I have
This is what I really love, is someone that I'm able to just have any conversation with. There's literally nothing she could ask me right now that I'd be like, no, I don't want to talk about that. Like, there's literally nothing that I won't talk about.
So it's not anything too personal, but I just want to like ask you this question anyway. So you started filmmaking like about 3 years ago. That's where you knew, that's where your journey began. That's where you were working on it, towards it at least.
Yeah.
But the thing is, mostly I would say you were behind camera, right? Weren't you like mostly the person taking footages, taking videos for other people, editing
Yes.
behind the scene?
Yes.
Okay.
But I was still working on my own like vlog.
Yeah.
I would go on adventures with friends, and that was on my YouTube channel. But I was a good amount in both. I was working on it a lot. It's like
But you taught yourself.
yeah, I was really bad, and I still am working on like my delivery. And I'm still not there yet. It's been 3 years, and I still like stumble. Sometimes I don't know what to say. Sometimes I speak too fast. Sometimes I stumble. Yeah, it's just like.
So my question for you is like, are there any struggles for you? Because for me, for example, I was used to being in front of the camera for 15 years. So when I speak and share something, it's like, okay, I'm just gonna share what I feel right now. But for you, because you also have a lot of experience behind the camera, which I actually have less of,
Yep.
how is that for you when you're now literally the person that's like most of the time also in front of the camera, sharing your thoughts, your feelings, everything? Like, how is that
Yeah.
for you?
It can be a little frustrating at times because sometimes I get so caught up in the moment in like what I'm trying to say that I don't realize that I'm speaking too fast. I'm speaking like too fast, and sometimes I don't realize that I'm like mumbling. And so I'm actually you inspire me to like keep in some of those moments because a lot of times I mess up. I don't speak clearly, and that's something that I'm glad that you're here to help me realize. Is like maybe you can be like, Marshall, you're not speaking clearly. You're mumbling, and so I really want to convey like a powerful, a clear message, and that's something that I really, 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 really want to be conscious of. So yeah, sometimes it's really, really hard, and it's definitely something I'm still working on. That was me picking off a bug, but yeah, I'm still not anywhere close to where I want to be, but like I think I can get there. Just like being conscious, and sometimes it's like very much you don't know what you're going to experience. You can't just like practice this like a script.
Yeah.
It's like off the cuff.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you go for it, you try to say something, and you stumble or mumble, and it's kind of like hard to like do it over and over again because you want it to be a clear message.
Yeah.
And so
And yet you want it to flow naturally because it's sort of like an improv and there's no script at all. And that's why, like, for me, I find it very, very brave of you to actually be willing to be in front of the camera as well as much as you're behind it, because I know a lot of people that struggle with being in front of it because they're actually thinking about the judgment of themselves too much. Showcasing their vulnerabilities is not a side that they usually do because they're just the ones capturing everyone else's glam or vulnerability. So that's why for me it's like I really, really admire that in you, Mar, how you're still so willing, even though you say it's not perfect, you stumble across a lot of stuff, you're still willing to showcase your feelings, your thoughts, try again, over and over and over again. And to me, like, I've been observing that for the past couple days, and I just love that. I really, really admire that.
much stumbles and much retakes with my filming, because I don't want to just give you just like something that doesn't make sense or isn't clear. I want it to make sense. And yeah, I'm not perfect, definitely not even near it. It's been 3 years and I still stumble and stutter, but I think I think I can do it. I just have to be conscious of it.
You are doing it.
Yeah, I am doing it. I am doing it.
I love that. I love that. Like, see, that's the beautiful part about it. We're both willing to take both roles and try. So yeah, that was my question to you, because I actually was wondering, like, is it difficult for you? Because for me, it's like something I'm so used to, but for you, I don't know if you were used to that. And even vlogs with friends is different than when you're actually trying to also educate and share certain information with people so it's clear, structured, and straight to the point. So it's a very different type as well.
Yep.
So yeah.
So a lot of times for me, it's like I know it in my heart, and I know what's going on. I know like in my head like the situation, or like I know for myself the feeling. But sometimes it can be very, very hard to articulate that feeling into words. So I'm trying, getting better, And hopefully with this journey with my lovely baby Naomi, we'll see, right now I don't know what to say. So it's just kind of
We
like,
got this.